Algebra 2, here we are for your notes video for Thursday, December the 9th. Your last full Thursday of 2021. All right, we are on the back pages here. I believe this is your first ACT page. All the ones that I have done, we need done as well. Show that work. All right, as it says, we're going to finish Thursday the 9th in Algebra 2. In the standard XY coordinate plane, what is the slope of the line given by the equation 4x equals 7y plus 5? We're going to get this in slope-intercept form, so I'm going to move the 5 over. I'm going to put the, just going to rearrange everything, all right? Have them trade spots while moving the 5 over with 4x. 4x minus 5. Then I'm going to divide everything by 7. 4 over 7 minus 5 over 7. All right, this doesn't matter as much. I need to know what the slope is. And the slope is what is attached to x, 4/7. Which of the following condition must the sum of m and n always be odd? If you have an odd number plus an even number, you're going to get an odd number. So it's k. Not much work to be shown there. So now we're getting to like the third page of an ACT test. The mid-teens to the mid-20s. This is where they get a little interesting, but we should still know how to do almost all of them. Like 19. 19 is the old Pythagorean Theorem. A squared plus b squared is c squared. That is 1600. You're allowed on the ACT, you can use the calculator the whole time. I take the square root of 1600, I get 40, and that's the reason why 40 is an answer. But 40 is the whole length. What is the midpoint of A, B? It's 20 away from A and B, so midpoint is 20 of the way through. Now, this is the only time on an official ACT test that I've seen this cannot be determined from the given answer, or from the given info as the actual answer. I don't have anything about whether we have a right triangle. If I knew this was a right triangle, then I can definitely do this. Now, I know that it's got to be bigger than the difference between root 30 and 3, and it's got to be smaller than the sum of root 30 and 3. Got some triangle inequality stuff from geometry, but I can't know. I can't know because I don't know anything about the angle measurements. If you said something about you have a right triangle, then boom, angle E would be the right angle. I could use Pythagorean Theorem. I cannot, though. All right, so Laura's got 8-foot-high walls. 2 of the rooms then would be 10 by 8, and then 2 of the rooms would be 15 by 8. 2 rooms that are 10 by 8. 2 rooms that are 15 by 8. That's 400 square feet. You can see why 400 is an answer, but you got to subtract because she's not going to paint the door and the window. That would be silly. Minus 60. It's 340. All right, 22. The length of a rectangle is 5 inches longer than the width. The perimeter is 40. So perimeter is twice the length plus twice the width. So the length plus the width is 20. We did this in 5th hour already. Guess and check's the best model. 12.5 and 7.5 give you 20, and the width is smaller, so 7.5. 23, 8% is 0.08 of is multiplication equals a fifth of means multiplication what number? A fifth is 0.2. 4.8 equals 0.2x. Divide both sides by 0.2. X is 24. Armin is trying to decide whether to buy a season pass for college basketball team. Go Dogs. The cost of season pass is $175. You can get in. He can get in. It's a game for $14. That's an individual ticket. All right. So when's it going to pay for itself? You do $175. The cost for a season pass divided by 14. That's 12.5. 12 times 14 is 168. You've not reached that 175. 13 times 14 is 182. At the 13th game, he will then start saving money. All right, take a look at 25. So what can we do here? We can do 4.8 divided by 1.6. Divided by, not subtraction. So that's why D and E are given as answers, because they're subtracting. 4.8 divided by 1.6 is 3. 10 to the negative 7th divided by 10 to the negative 11th. This is an exponent rule. If I'm dividing with the same base, I subtract the exponents. That's 10 to the 4th. The top has more, and the exponent has 4 more. That's why A is my answer. All right, so 26. Here's A. Here's C. B's got to be there. So what I do with the x's from 2 to -1, I subtract a 3. So I need to subtract 3 again. -1 minus 3 is a -4. That tells me it has to be H. 6 minus 4 is 2, so I subtract another 4 from 2. That's a -2. All right. So on 27, we'll learn how to factor this exactly in Chapter 6. X to the third, 64. 4, well, obviously x, if I raise it to the third power, I get x to the third. 4, if I raise it to the third power, I get 64. So the first parenthesis, then it's followed by something. This is close. If it's that, then that's also a factor. I take the cubed root of both. I take the cubed root of x to the third, it's x. I take the cubed root of 64, it's 4. All right, 16. What is the acceleration? It's constant between 0 and 3 seconds. All right, do where you ended minus where you began over 3 seconds. 132 over 3, 44 feet per second. In a plane, AB and CD intersect at A, and B is 47. So BA. Oh, I drew this wrong. I drew this really wrong. Measure of BAC. Oops. This is much better. BAC is 47. That's 133. Oops. Fifth hour. I made a bad drawing. You didn't tell me. It's 133 no matter what, but make it draw on a scale. Ascending order is least to greatest. You're ascending. All right, that's 0.5. That's 0.83 repeating. That's 0.625. That's the largest one. Middle one, smallest one, F. Scientific notation. So this plus this is 1370, and then 6 zeros follow both, so 6 zeros. Scientific notation says I got to write the first number out here, between 1 and 9.9 repeating, essentially, so it can't be E. So I put a decimal right there. If I put the decimal right there, it's 1.37 times 10 to the what? Well, I look after the decimal point, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spots, so times 10 to the 9th. 20, going back to geometry. For trapezoid, A, B, C, D, shown below. A and B are, AB is parallel to DC, that is. So they're supplements because if this is 70, it looks like it's 70, then this is 70, and that's 110, and that's 110, it's 4 sides. Those two angles are supplementary. I do 180 minus what x is. That's what supplements mean. That means they're equal. All right, to get a driver's, this is a tough area to get a driver's license. You got to take the written test and then pass the driving test. So past records show that 80% pass the written test, and then 60% of those pass the driving test. 60% that pass the driving test, right? Records show that 80% pass the written test. So 60% that pass the written test pass the driving test. Wow. That's 48% total of everyone. So multiply 0.48 times 1,000. 480 of the 1,000 applicants are getting their driver's license. Okay, we're going to skip to 23. Combine like terms, that is 18x, and the y's cancel, so 1/2 y squared on the outside times 18x. Half of 18 is 9x times y squared. It's got to be A. We will also skip 24. Let's keep going here. All right, I want to do this one. So a minus 4a is negative 3a. 2b minus 6b is negative 4b. 3c minus a negative 3 minus a negative 5 is 8. All right, what answer is that? E. That is E. Yes. Okay, let's take a look at 22. This is from geometry. Right triangle trig. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. So if one wants to know what is sine of theta, I go here. Sine of theta is opposite of theta divided by the hypotenuse. So sine of theta is A over C. There's going to be 4 trig questions on the ACT. Hopefully 1 or 2 of them are from geometry, like that one is. Let's talk about 24. Line P and N are in the standard XY coordinate plane. This is the equation for P, tiny slope. The slope of N is 0.1 greater than the slope of P. So I take the slope of P and add 0.1 to it. That's the slope of N. Wow, that's easy. Euler distribution, negative 8 times 7 is a negative 56. Add the exponents. X to the third times x to the 6 is x to the 9th. Nope, nope, nope. A negative times a negative is a positive. X to the third times x to the 5th is x to the 8th. All right, negative 6 plus 8 is 2 in the absolute value. What's the absolute value of 2? 2. Multiply by the negative 3 on the outside to get negative 6. Okay, this is great. Now, there's a few different ways to do this. Wants to know what AE is. This is a 3, 4, 5 triangle from geometry. You got 2 similar triangles, so this is the hypotenuse. So you can say that this is the hypotenuse. This is just this is the hypotenuse. Scratch that from the record. You can say the big vertical leg, x, divided by the small vertical leg is equal to the big hypotenuse over the small hypotenuse. Is x over 3 is equal to 4. X is 12. That one's not too bad. You guys talked about the Pythagorean Theorem and similar triangles in geometry. All right, so which represents the data? Which of the following equations? First off, the y-intercept is when your independent variable, x or t in this situation, instead of writing x, we're writing t, is 0. When t is 0, y is 14, so my answer can only be f or h. As x gets bigger by 1, y gets bigger by 5. That's the slope. Slope is 5, and your y-intercept is 14. H. All right, let's go to the SAT here. Hopefully we're seeing, wow, a lot of those questions in the middle part of the ACT, not that tough. We can handle so much of it. Here is the calculator section of the SAT. Juniors will be taking that in April. All right. So what is going on? They're a big fan of relatively easy to read graphs. So music sales increased till there, and then started their decline. Sales increased until year 3. 3 plus 1997 is the year 2000. And then decreased from there. Let's take a look at 4. Okay, again, which of the following, we just talked about one of these on the previous page, number 28 on the ACT. All right, so which of those defines f? So as f of n is like this is like f and this is like f of x. So this is, and you can just look here. This is your x. This is your y. So as x gets bigger by 1, y gets bigger by 3. That's the definition of the slope. Y gets bigger by 3. You rise 3 as you run 1. The only one with a slope of 3 is C. All right. Let's take a look here at Lincoln High. Approximately 77% of the juniors and 5% of the seniors are inducted in the NHS. There are 562 juniors and 602 seniors. So 0.07 times the juniors plus 0.05 times the seniors. Rounded 2 decimals, that's what we got for juniors. That's what we got for seniors. That's closest to 69. Hey. Number 6 here. Add them together because that's the sum. 3x squared plus 5x squared is 8x squared. Negative 5x plus a negative 2x is negative 7x. 2 plus a negative 6 is a negative 4. X squared plus x squared is just x squared. It's not x to the 4th. That's multiplying. All right. 3/5 W is equal to 4/3. So what I want to do, I want to get rid of the 3/5. I mean, I could do this divided by 0.6, but I'm going to set multiply by 5/3, the reciprocal. If I multiply both sides by 5/3, then I just get W all by itself. If I multiply by 5/3, that's 20/9. Can show this work. So here's what's going on. This is the number of students per class since between the years, since the year 2000 and between those years. So 0.56 is for every year increase, you're gaining 0.56 students. Basically, every 2 years, there's another kid in class, or class sizes have gone up by 5.6 since the year 2000. That's the estimated increase in the average number of students per classroom. All right, our last one. Nate walks 25 meters in 13.7 seconds. If he walks at the same rate, how far can he get in a passing period? Do 25 divided by 13.7, you get like 1.82. And multiply that not by 4, but 240 seconds and 4 minutes. You can basically walk a lap around the track and a little bit more in that 4 minutes. So that's a decent walk. That's a good, you're not messing around walk. That's closest to 450. All right, use the rest of the time to finish this game plan. You're going to turn this in immediately on Friday. And we will finish as much as we can in the final exam review on Friday. And I might send you another video to watch this weekend. I might check your final exam review early on Monday, and then the finals start next Tuesday, folks. Let's do it. This is Yak Math Videos signing out.